Hi, I'm Chris from California Cycle Works. We're here to do another video. We're going to change this clutch in the Monster 620. It's a wet clutch. Nothing special, pretty easy, just a couple tools, a little bit of torque spec, and let's get to it. You can keep the bike on the left side stand, pretty easy. All the oil drains away. I cheated a little bit and I backed it up onto a couple of blocks. That gets extra drain. So I'm using a ball-shaped Allen wrench, and it's got a dent at the end. They call it a ball Allen, and it lets you get into screws that are otherwise unable to get to because of an obstruction, like the oil sending unit. So when you're using these hex drives, make sure you seat your tool into the bolt head well. That prevents you from messing it up, stripping out the hex drive. That's not good. Another trick is that as you take out the bolts, you align them on a piece of paper or your rag in a pattern to demonstrate where they're located on the bike. The way I typically index is that these will be towards the front, and then you can see I go radially around, and you can also tell they're all not the same length. It's especially good to do this for the alternator cover. Lay them out radially, and you see the spacer belongs to this long one, so the cover is going to only take a few long ones. So if you start here with the long one, you can work your way around either way. So I've got the CycleWorks fiber gasket behind this oil cover. Now the key with gaskets is you want to make sure as you lift away that the gasket's fully sticking to one or the other of the surfaces. If it sticks to both, then it'll tear down the middle. This is the clutch. This piece is the pressure plate. These are the spring cups. The spring cups are different thicknesses based on the engine. 620, 750, but dry clutch versus oil clutch. All these have possibly different height cups, so be wary of changing these. This dimple is for aligning the pressure plate to the clutch hub behind. So the bike is in neutral, so it was free to turn the engine while we were playing with that. If it had been in gear, it might have rolled off the side stand. That wouldn't have been good. And no oil has dripped from the engine yet. This is the push rod. It goes all the way over to the clutch slave cylinder. And it's my preference to not allow that to exit this side of the bike. It's not such a big deal on the wet clutch models as it is the dry clutch models. I use a dental pick to help remove the plates. It's common practice in the motorcycle repair industry that you pre-soak new clutch plates before assembly. The belief there is that soaking them will change the break-in and that the material will expand or whatever when it gets saturated with oil. If it makes you feel better, you're welcome to do that. I've done it both ways and have not noticed appreciable difference either way. The other industry thinking is that these plates are stamped, so a big machine with a die comes in and just smashes it out. So it's round on this end and sharp on this end. So people say make the round or sharp end always point the same way. Whatever, still same thing. If you want to, sure. It's not like these bikes are different than any other machine with steel, aluminum, and clutch plates and tires, so it'll function just fine either way. This post is notched. We have the mark. You line up the mark and the notch. And you push in, and it's good. This is one of my other favorite tools. It's called a palm ratchet. It's great for clutches because it lets you push and you're able to keep better control of what's happening. The clutch screws are pretty critical. If you end up messing up one of the heads of the screws, it's just 5mm screw, like 5x20 or 5x25. So you can go to your local hardware store and buy some. The clutch screws get 5 foot-pounds, which times 12 is 60 inch-pounds. Not much torque at all. With the palm ratchet, I can put 8 foot-pounds of force pretty easily. You see it lifts off, and with it lifted off we can turn it. With it dropped we can't. We have our cover, the gasket's still on it. If you bought a new gasket, typically there will be at least 2 dowel pins on a cover. In this case you have a dowel pin, and in the crankshaft there's only one. So you could apply the gasket to the engine first if you want. You can use a little bit of oil on the engine to hold it in place, that's fine. And I'm just going to wipe around it to make sure there's no dirt. This is probably the 3rd time this gasket has been used. So you can see doing the clutch, pretty easy, not so hard. I think filming it is harder than changing it. So good luck with that. Easy to do. Thanks for watching.